Okay, for today, let me talk about the polygon interior angle. So we're going to talk about the angles inside of a polygon. So recently we talked about a triangle. Okay, so let me just draw a regular, well, not a regular, but just let me draw a triangle. And we said that a triangle, the angles on the inside add up to 180. So let me mark my three angles. Whatever those measurements are, they're going to add up to 180. But in this case, let me add another triangle. Let me add a second triangle here. So I'm going to say this figure, let me just make a list here. And then the angles, let me make a formula here for my angles. When it had three sides, it added up to 180, right? We just did that. Now here, let me take a look at this polygon. Interesting. It has 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is a polygon with 4 sides. So I'm going to say when there's 4 sides, I'm going to go 180 times 2. Okay. Let me add another triangle here. Let me add another triangle there. Then let me see. Let me see. I think it created another polygon. It has 1. Let me do a better job. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so when it has 5 sides, I have to go 180 times 3. As a matter of fact, let me just do this here. When it had 3 sides, I had to go 180 times 1. When it had 4 sides, I had to go 180 times 2. And then when it had 5 sides, I had to go 180 times 3. Okay, let me erase my red lines here. So I guess some of these things are going to erase. When it had 5 sides, I said 180 times 3. What if I add another triangle? And let me add it in this case right here. And I know this is going to be 180 times 4. Let me see if I do get a triangle, a polygon with 6 sides. Let me see if that's actually what happens here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So 6 sides, I have to go 180 times 4. There's a relationship between the amount of sides and how many 180s do I have. So when I had 3 sides, I had to multiply 180 times 1. When I have 4 sides, I had to go 180 times 2. When I have 5 sides, I had to go 180 times 3. When I had 6 sides, I had to go 180 times 4. I'm not going to do the figure, but I'm hoping you guys get to see it. If I had 100 sides, if I had 100 sides, I'm going to go 180 times what? You want to pause the video, think about it. Okay, with 3 sides, I had to multiply times. It was 180 times 1. So if I have 100 sides, I have to go 180 times 98. Did you think of that number? Okay. How many 180s do we have? It's always 2 less than how many sides we have. So if I have a figure with n many sides, how many 180s do I have? Yeah, I will have n minus 2 times 180. So this is a formula we are going to use for us to know that inside angles of a polygon, we're going to go 180 times n minus 2. N is how many sides we have. All right, so having that said, let's take a look at question number 1. Find the interior angle sum. Basically means add the angles inside of the polygon. Now round your answer to the nearest tenth if necessary. So let me count how many sides this polygon has. I have 1, 2, I can count 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 sides. So I'm gonna say this polygon has 8 sides. So for me to know how much do the angles on the inside add up to, I'm gonna go 180 times 6. Remember how many 180s do I have to have? 2 less than how many sides? So if I had 8 sides, then 6 times. Now 180 times 6 is going to equal to 1,080. Nice. Let's take a look at question number 4. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 sides. So for me to figure out how many do I have to, what are the angles in the inside, I'm going to go 180 times 2. Remember, I'll always go inside my parentheses is always 2 less than how many sides. So it has 4 sides. So let me go 180 times 2, right? Because 2 is 2 less than 4. Now 180 times 2 is 360. So the angles on the inside, in this case, will add up to 360. Let's take a look at question number 3. Find the measure of one interior angle. So we just want to know how big is one angle. Okay, I was having fun figuring how much all the angles were. So let me see. Let me count how many sides there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. There were 11 sides. So if I wanted to know how much all the angles on the inside add up to, so if I wanted to know how much do all the angles on the inside add up to, I would have gone 180 times 9. That's how much all the angles on the inside add up to, which is equal to 1,620. Now here, I'm not asked how much all of them are. I'm asked how much is one of them. However, I know this is a regular polygon. Regular polygon means all the angles are the same. There's 11 angles. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go 1,620 because that's how much all of them are. Let me divide this by 11. I'm going to use a calculator in this case. Okay, I have a big decimal. I have 147.27272727, but it says rounded because when I'm reading my instructions, it says round your answer to the nearest tenth. Oh, okay, tenth. That sounds like 10. Tenth sounds like 10, which is a 1 with 1 0. So that means 1 decimal place. I do take a look at the second decimal place, which is big enough. So I was going to push my first decimal place up, and my answer will be 147.3. Okay, let's take a look at question number 4. Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 sides. So I'm going to go 180 times 2. Okay, that's how much all of the angles on the inside add up to. And I know all the angles add up to 360. Okay, my question is how much is one of them? So all of them divided by 4, because there's 4 of them, 360 divided by 4 happens to be 90. So this angle is 90. Okay, now let's take a look at question number 5 and 6. Here, I have to solve for x. And I learned back in Algebra 1, we learned how to do simple equations. Right? What I'm going to do, let me add all my angles. And I remembered back in pre-algebra foundations, some of you guys saw this in middle school. when I'm adding something, I'm basically going to start by combining my like terms. So when it comes to x, I see 3x plus 4x plus 1x plus 3x plus 5x plus 2x. Let me combine my like terms. And that happens to give me 18x. So I'm just combining my like terms. Now let me look at those that don't have a letter. So I'm looking at 7 plus 1 plus 1 minus 5 minus 4. Okay, that's 0. I'm just not, I could write by plus 0, but really that makes no sense. So I'm not going to write this. So I combine everything. 18x is equal to, okay, how much do all the angles here add up to? I know I have to go 180 times n minus 2. N is how many sides there are. Let me count how many sides this thing has. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to go 180 times 4. Remember, there's 6 sides. I always go 180 times 2 less than how many sides there are. I know 180 times 4 happens to be 720. So I have 18x is equal to 720. Okay, I remembered that in order for me to get that x by itself, let me divide both sides by 18. So 720 divided by 18, it says 40. Cool. X is equal to 40. Not that bad. Let's take a look at question number 6 here. Let me add all these things up. And I know when I'm adding first, I'm going to combine like terms. So when it comes to letters, I see 5x plus 3x plus 5x plus 8x plus 4x. Let me combine them all, and that happens to give me 25x. Now, in terms that don't have an x, I see positive 2 plus 5 plus 10 plus 8 plus 15. Okay. Now, this case is not 0, like in the previous one. This case actually happens to be plus 40. I just combine them all. And then this one, I have to go 180 times something. Times something. Let's see. How many sides does my polygon have? I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides. There's 5 sides. So therefore, here I'm going to go 180 times 3. Because remember, it's always 2 less. Okay. So on the left side of my equal sign, I just have 25x plus 40. Right? Nothing I can do. On the other side, I have 180 times 3. I know that's 540. To get that 25x by itself, this plus 40, let me move it over as a minus 40. So let me just call this 25x is equal to 500. Right, 540 minus 40, that's 500. Let me divide both sides by 25. 500 divided by 25 happens to be 20. So x is equal to 20.